It's December 2023 and you're sitting there wondering, I want to get into woodworking, I want to do it as a job, bit of a side hustle, you know, make a little bit of money, bit of spare cash. Where do I sell everything? Should we have a chat? I get it, right? You found woodworking, you love it, it's your passion, you really enjoy it, and you think, man, I want to do this for a living, I want to make some money, even if it's a bit of a side hustle. I want to make some dollar, some fat cash, earning some money, doing something that I love. First off, somebody who sits there and says, don't turn your passion into a business because then you won't enjoy it, or you'll be, I don't even care. They're talking nonsense, right? They're talking friggin' rubbish. If you enjoy something, you want to make a living out of it, do not let anybody tell you that you can't do it. Go get at it now. You're going to have to work, you're going to have to put the effort in, you're going to have to learn marketing, you're going to have to learn how to build things, you're going to have to probably build things you're not necessarily super sure you're going to do. You might not have the confidence to do it. And guess what? Confidence comes after the fact, right? You're not going to be confident about building something that you've not built before. You're just going to have to get on, suck it up and do it. That all being said, that's for another video I've got coming up on being self-employed. Now, I've done this video before, it was about 12 months ago, and I think that the world has changed. Well, we all know that the world has changed in the last 12 months. Man, however much it's been changed in the last 3 years just blows my mind. I swear, if my missus she's going to slap me if I say, you know, oh man, pre-COVID, she'll probably just bonk me on the back of the head with a hammer. So just keep going on and on and on about how easy things were back then, and I didn't know. But it's changed. Life's different, gotta get on with it, right? So you're here to learn and find out all my secrets about how to sell woodworking goods and make a successful business and where to do it. So the first problem we're gonna have with that is that it's kind of like location dependent. So a lot of what I'm gonna say are general rules, all right? They're general rules that I've picked up over the last 10 years in business. We've sold small products, big products. We work with big multinational, multi-million company bound business, multi-million pound company businesses. Got it? And we've worked with small crafters. We have jobs that go out that are £30. We have jobs that go out that are a lot more than that. I'm not a marketing genius, right? I'm still learning. I'm still learning with my woodwork. I'm still learning with my marketing, but I'm just going to give you my 2 cents worth. So first things first, you're probably sitting there thinking, right, selling sites. We have the internet. Internet's a wonderful thing. There's Etsy, there's eBay, there's Facebook, there's Gumtree, there's Craigslist. And I'm sure there's a lot that I don't even know about. Etsy used to be a beautiful place to sell, right? You go in there, people were coming in and they want handmade goods, and they understood that handmade goods cost a little bit more money, or handcrafted, and so they would be prepared to pay that. Sadly, Etsy has turned into a version of Amazon. Basically, it's the vast majority is drop shipping. Right then, so it occurred to me as I was editing this video that I probably need to have a little bit of clarification on what I think drop shipping is, just so Etsy doesn't come and kick me. In my eyes, right, drop shipping is buying a product, bringing it in, and then doing something to it yourself. So a great example is like chopping boards. If you look for chopping boards on Etsy, vast majority of them haven't been made by that individual. They're buying a chopping board and then engraving it or putting something else on it, or I don't know, man. I don't necessarily mean that like you're buying stuff from AliExpress, although I'm sure that there's some people doing that, and a lot of the crafting suppliers do that on Etsy because that is allowed in the policy. So my version of drop shipping is like not handmade by that individual or handcrafted by that individual. What they're doing is they're buying products in, rebranding, reselling, doing other bits and pieces to it, and then selling it on to you. And all right, they maybe don't say that they didn't make it, but I think a lot of the times the implication is that they're responsible for that product when in reality they're not. Anyway, I hope that clears it up. Back to the video. So for the UK here, we get a lot of drop shipping from places like Hungary, Eastern Europe, the Middle East, China, Pakistan, India. And let's be honest, right? There's nothing that I can do to compete with their prices. It's not going to happen. And so the fact that it's become basically drop shipping Amazon, I couldn't recommend it to anybody. Not to mention that the fees are through the roof, man. We sell stuff on Amazon as a third-party seller, and we make more profit for selling the same product on Amazon that we do on Etsy. Which, I'll be honest, that kind of blows my mind a little bit, because I would have thought, you know, my reach with Amazon is huge. All right, yeah, granted, you've got a bigger audience, you've got to be able to do your marketing, your SEO work, all that sort of stuff a lot better. But if you do a good product, eventually you're going to do well on Amazon. So what else is there? There's Facebook, there's eBay. eBay is pretty much the same. eBay's dead to us. We haven't sold on eBay in about 6 or 7 years. Facebook Marketplace is good if you're in the right environment, if you understand how to market, right? And what I mean by that is if you make a nice product, it's no good selling it in a location where people don't have a lot of money, or they're not going to buy that product, right? It's like selling a boat to people that live in the forest. right? If I'm going to sell a boat, I'm going to sell it to people who live in Norfolk on the Broads or down by the coast or near a lake or something like that, right? So it's important that you understand, and you maybe take some online courses, you can take some free ones, right? And learn how to do your SEO or your marketing or your Facebook ads or all that sort of stuff. I've been doing this 10 years and it does my head in a little bit, so I try not to go too deep into that. I just figure that my product will sell because it's good. I was listening to a podcast that Alex Wilmonzi guy, I hope I said his name right, and he sits there and he talks about his book and he says, I rewrote it 5 times and I've done a whole bunch of, I think it was 19 times in total, where he's looked at it and redone bits and pieces because he knew that if it was good enough, it would sell and people would buy it. And I guess that's sort of where we come with the product. It's difficult because you're selling on the internet and people don't necessarily understand the difference between a picture taken from here and a picture taken from there. They don't see the quality issues that tend to go on with that. But again, I guess that all comes down to sitting there and having to learn how to take your pictures correctly and having to learn how to do your descriptions correctly and all that sort of stuff. There are other ones like Folksy, and that's a selling site. I'm not a massive fan of that. Personally, I am all about social media. I think that social media gives you an opportunity to create an audience that want your stuff. That there in itself is the best thing that you can possibly do. Now, Instagram and Facebook, they have Facebook shops, and I think that we use Wix for our internet provider, for our website provider, and it allows us to integrate our product catalog that I've created on our Wix website, and it allows us to integrate that with our Instagram and Facebook shop. Now, look, you don't need to worry about all that. Look, you don't have to worry about setting up websites. If you want to do that, if you're good at doing that, then go ahead and crack on with it. I think that there's lots of other options. Now, Shopify seems to be a really good option. What that does is it allows you to create a shop front. You can put your wares on there. You can link that shop with your Instagram and Facebook account. Sounds complicated, but it's not really. Once you learn how to do it, it's not an issue. And as always, you just learn off YouTube. That's all I ever did. And so what you do is you build your shop front, like I said, you integrate that store with your Facebook and Instagram account. And then what happens is you share a picture of said product, and then you can tag in said product. And so you can be like, hey man, look at this awesome little box that I made. Look at the finger joints. Look at how beautiful it looks. Look at how tidy it is. If you'd like to buy one, all you got to do is click on the link, take you direct to the shop, bish, bash, bosh, done. And you purchase one. Now, there's obviously sales in person. Now, that is what I love to do. I don't know if you've noticed, but I quite like chatting to people. I quite like chatting to the camera, and I can be a little bit, what shall we say, excitable. I don't know if you've noticed, that tends to go well when I'm talking to people because I quite like that back and forth. It's about capturing their attention, bringing them in, and then I can sell them the product. I think that the one thing that's really going to set you apart from other people is that you have to sell yourself, right? The vast majority of the time, people are buying you. They're buying your story, they're buying your work, your effort, they want to support you. With a lot of the companies that we work with, there's maybe people that could go out and they could do it cheaper. Probably couldn't do it better, but they could do it cheaper. But what they love is they love to be able to sit there and tell people, hell, we're supporting a local business. We're looking after a family-run business out there in the fens, out there in the fields. They do everything. They work hard. They turn up. They are the people that you want to be seen to be supporting, which I also think is a massive thing because impressions are everything. When you're working with people, like I said, they want your story. If you had the opportunity, right, so I'll put it this way. If you had the opportunity to go buy a cup of coffee, right, and that coffee's going to cost you, I don't know, £3, $3, whatever like that, and you can go to a Starbucks, you can go to a Costa over here, or you can go to somebody in their cafe that make it on their own. The coffee's exactly the same, right? It costs the same amount of money, it's the same brand, it's the same brew, it's the same thing. I don't know a lot about coffee, and it tastes really nice. I personally would go and spend my money with the person who's trying to make it on their own, not with the brand, not with the big business. And I think that a lot of people would probably do that. And I think that the people that you're trying to sell your wares to, whether they're boxes or designs or signs or whatever it is, I think that those people, they want to buy from the little man. They want to support you. They want to support your business. They want to hear your story, right? And so this is what it's about. It's about getting that story across. You've got to get them involved. You've got to get them to the point where they want to buy from you. And so this is where things like craft fairs, school fetes, all of these sorts of things come in. Now, school fetes maybe not so much, but craft fairs, speciality fairs, I think those are a great place to try and sell your goods. And I think it's also a great market tester, right? So you can take your stuff in there. Now, obviously bearing in mind that not all fetes are the same, not all fairs are the same, not all country shows are the same. You might have different people, the weather. There's lots of variables that you need to understand. However, if you take products to these places and they don't sell, then maybe you don't want to be taking those products to these places in particular. So that means you've got to understand your market, right? You've got to understand who you're selling to. You've got to understand what their needs are. You've got to understand what they want. Because as soon as you know what they want, then you can sell it to them. And so I guess in a roundabout sort of way, what I'm trying to say is that you need to identify your market. You need to identify who it is that you're selling to. You identify their need and how you're going to figure out what it is that they want. Then you're going to make it for them and you're going to put it in front of them. You're going to say, you want it? I know you do. So let's have a chat about it. All right, you're maybe not going to go with a hard sell just like that, but you are going to stand there, you're going to talk to them and you're going to explain to them what you do and bring them in and get them involved in the story. And then you're probably going to have a higher chance of selling it. So for me personally, I do like the person-to-person ability to sell or the possibility of selling. So like I said, craft fairs, country shows, all that sort of nonsense. That doesn't mean to say that Facebook, Etsy, all the others don't work, Shopify and all that don't work. But I do think that things like Etsy are probably on the decline. But again, to my point of you're selling the story, this is where Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and even TikTok to a certain extent, it allows people into your room, right? It allows you guys to come into my workshop and see all the mess that I've left around, right? Because we're in the middle of a job. It allows you to come in and see what's going on and to be part of that story, to be part of that opportunity. And I think that really, personally, in my experience, is where you're going to make the most sales. So what do we all take from this then, this nonsense, this ramble? Identify what you're good at, right? So if you like the person-to-person thing, craft shows, country shows, I think they're going to be the best thing for you. If you do struggle with that, then maybe try and look at Instagram, Facebook. But I do genuinely think that it's about building up the story. It's about building up the reason as to why somebody should purchase from you, the reason why they're going to come back to you. Because that's the thing, right? Is you don't just want one sale, you want 3 or 4 or 5, right? Be greedy about it. Be shameless about it. You know, Michelle always says to me, she says, I'm shameless when we go out because I'm always working. Not always working, but I'm always in a position to identify an opportunity and be like, hey, you know, we could help you out there. Because I run a business and because I have mouths to feed and because I want to provide my children with a better life, right? So you have to kind of be on the ball about it and just be like, hey, I got something for you. As difficult as that might be, that's kind of really where I think it's super important. But again, like I said, the story. In conclusion then, with that nonsense, where do I sell stuff? Shopify, Instagram, Facebook, catalogs, or in person? Because ultimately, it's easier to get and to gauge and to figure out what works, what doesn't work in person. And Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, TikTok, they give you an opportunity to build up that story. It gives you an opportunity for people to see you for who you are, to see your family, to see your... And I'm not saying you have to share all your private moments or anything like that. You know, sometimes I share pictures of the kids and doing stuff that I'm really proud of. Sometimes I share images of us going out for the day. Sometimes I share workshop stuff. It's not about like telling people everything, because I understand that's like, I don't want to do that. It's about getting people involved in your story. It's about getting people to the point where they want to support you, right? Same thing with YouTube. It's about wanting people to come back. It's not about the numbers, not about the number of views, the number of subscribers. So if you get 10,000 subscribers, but nobody cares about the content that you make, well, what friggin' use is it, right? There is no use in it. It's about bringing people into the fold, bringing people into your environment, bringing people into your story, getting them involved, wanting them to support you, and then selling them some goods. All right, I hope that's helped. You have a great day. You have a beautiful evening. If there's anything else you'd like me to talk about, if there's anything that you think, hey man, I wonder what his take is on that, you let me know. You have a beautiful evening, and I'll catch you on the next one, all right? Have fun.